Hi guys, this is Gadget the Layman Atheist. On April 3rd, 2014, representatives of both religious and non-religious groups gathered on the steps of the Capitol building in Montgomery, Alabama, to lend a voice to the separation of church and state. Here are just some of the voices heard at the Alabama Rally for a Secular Government.
Says I'm strong and bold, but blues puts me in cruise control. Preacher says there's something wrong with me. I'm an atheist. Daddy says I'm just like him, a chip off the block and a dime a dozen. But I know that's not who I wanna be. The kids that say I'm wrong and rough, teachers said they've had enough. But I know that there's more of me to see.
You guys need to pay attention to what's going on in the legislature. You also need to pay attention to the records of the people that tried to pass these bills and to work for people in your communities that are trying to get elected so that we have a more balanced, more just a better approach in there. Because right now the GOP has a super majority. They can do whatever they want. And they can ignore all the good bills that a lot of people put out there to help regular people do good things. They ignored those completely.
They'll tell you who can and who cannot have children. They already tell you who can and who cannot marry, and both of those things are religiously motivated. And the most fundamental human right there is for you to own and have autonomy over your own body. And that's exactly what they're trying to take away.
We would do well to heed James Madison's warning. We must set aside the differences in our religious beliefs and our political views as we have done here today and unite for a common cause. We must make it clear to the government that we will not stand for the infringement on one of our country's founding principles. We must make it clear to the majority that they will not be able to use their numbers to wield power over us forever.
Our world is filled with enough harshness. We need compassionate listeners who are willing to be wrong and to engage in the messy world that we live in. We need people who, like Jesus, ate with the poorest and the least of these. We need people like Buddha who are willing to sit with the suffering of everyday people. We need the people like Dorothy Day who tried new ways of being in community to help heal the world. We need people like Einstein who transcend their sins for the betterment of all people. We need risk takers who are willing to be imperfect and open to possibility.
Sharia law kind of lines up with some things the religious right wants. Forced observance of religion. Well, let's put a big check mark there. Then they also want to have religion intertwined with government. So let's put a big check mark there. Sharia law represses women and tells them how to dress. Well, let's put another big check mark there. That's what the religious right wants.
But if you put religion into the state, instantly you turn these people into illegals, basically. They're illegal for falling in love with somebody of their own gender. And for me, that absolutely doesn't make any sense. So we can't have our religious, religious fantasies. I mean, I don't know what else to call it. But to me, it's just a fantasy. You can't have that infused with real life. Because real life is that people are gay. Real life is that people are transgender. Real life is that people are just trying to be themselves and they just want to love who they love.
Separation of church and state. Why is it important, and why do we at the ACLU work so hard to maintain it? It is important so that all of us can address our government equally without worrying that the government might not approve of our beliefs or non-beliefs. It is important so that children learn their religious beliefs at home and in their religious institutions rather than being indoctrinated at school. It is important so that our children learn science based on facts out of textbooks based on facts, rather than religious creation stories dressed up like science. So many people want to deny women access to constitutionally protected health care by denying them access to abortions or even lately, and very alarmingly, even to birth control. It is important to keep religion and government insulated from one another. Just the other day, our own Chief Justice, Roy Moore, stated that the Constitution only applied to Christians. Now,
as Thomas Jefferson once said, it does me no injury for my neighbor to say that there are 20 gods or no God. It neither picks my pocket nor breaks my leg. This is about freedom. This separation of church and state ensures tolerance, diversity, and respect. When the lines become blurred, it does nothing more than foster self-righteousness, discrimination, and theocratic tyranny. This is why Thomas Jefferson advocated that the wall of separation between church and state remain immutable and indestructible. This is why people like Alabama Supreme Court Chief Justice Roy Moore have no business working as public servants. If their only mission is to proselytize or discriminate based on their own narrow religious views. It's why Governor Bentley should have been removed from office his very first day when he said that only Christians were his brothers and sisters. What about the Jewish children that I brought with me today to see our democracy in action? Must they endure another Christian prayer or celebrate Easter in their public schools in order to see how our secular government works? What about my atheist and agnostic friends? What about people like me, who will never share their personal beliefs in a public forum because they simply believe that these matters are private and intensely personal? Am I to be alienated by Governor Bentley for this? This type of public misconduct and the blatant abrogation of their oath of office to uphold the Constitution is precisely why we are here today to demand that we keep our government free from religion and our religions free from government.